getting ready to go green for the first time ever in the iRacing era. The green flag is out and TNT is green. Jacob Bradley out to an early lead ahead of Noah Belleville in that 41. Tom Sears in the Tropicana Supra on the outside of that second row, racing with Aaron Edwards in that number 1 Safe Light machine. Drag racing down the back straight. And Tony the Tiger, Seth Wansing driving that Kellogg's machine, fishtailing out of the second corner. He rounds out the top 5. Let's go on board with Seth. Bradley finally breaks away from Noah Belleville, making his first TNT start in I have no idea how long. He is the defending champion of this series, but making what I think is either his first or second start this season. Noah's not going for championships. He's just going for wins and chasing down the man at the top of this table, Jacob Bradley. In the number 50, Jimmy Johnson Foundation Chevrolet leads the Target Dodge. And in the third position, one of the many TNT rookies this season, Aaron Edwards in the Safe Light Camry. Two-time Thursday Night Thunder champion Tom Sears in that Tropicana machine just ahead of Seth Wansing. They battle for 4th. Single file top 3, and then these two start to fan out. This is his 3rd season in TNT. Matt Seeger ahead of rookie Ethan Winters. Donald Ray, the long Thursday Night Thunder veteran, along with Kevin Feemster and Ricardo Catania in that 2-4 DuPont machine with a big fishtail out of the corner. I was talking to a lot of drivers in the practice session, and they were telling me just how difficult this racetrack is, just how hard it is to get a grip on this racetrack, literally and figuratively. These guys not having a good time. Really interesting paint scheme, that just Fantasy 24. It's cool. It's awesome. A lot of us were looking at it saying that's really different. And, imagine if Jeff Gordon just drove something like this. That'd be pretty sweet. Here's a couple of race cars we do know and love. The number 2 Miller Blue Deuce, made famous by Rusty Wallace, and then the 29 Goodwrench Chevrolet, made famous by Briley Wright. Briley to the inside of Thomas Andrews. They will drag race for the 11th position. John Honeybrink and Chuck Sweeting had an incident on lap 7. Oh, Honeybrink just goes around out of turn number 2, struggles to keep the race car moving, and then Chuck Sweeting on the same lap He goes for a huge slide, and he's not able to keep it off the wall. Keeps it moving, though. Chuck Sweeting in the 5-7, running in 18th. Briley Wright in 12th. Jacob Bradley in 1st. He's not alone. However, he has been working his way to this 0.6 of a second gap he has over Noah Belleville. Aaron Edwards running in 3rd. Seth Wanting up 2 places from where he started. Kevin Feemster down 4 places. The Indiana pilot in the DeWalt machine. Not having the start he wanted, but it's going to be a long 115 laps. Assuming we have no cautions, you could expect this race to take about an hour 5. Where other races have been fuel dependent, if the race goes green, they can make it on 2 stops. Look at that. Look at Thomas Andrews, the way he just slides out of the second corner. Briley Wright says, see ya. And he'll take the 11th spot. And the yellow flag is out on lap number 13. Who's going around this time? Looks like Tristan Catania's got huge damage, and Tommy Withers might also have a piece of him, too, in that Pittsburgh Penguins number 6. Let's have a look. Check this out. They get hooked together, and so much for going caution-free. Curse of the commentator. And have another look as they'll make contact. I think Tommy Withers just slides up the racetrack, and he gets into the NRA Chevrolet. And Tristan will just assist Tommy Withers in making his way down the back straight. So caution number 1 comes out. The Virginia pilot in 16th will get his race car fixed. 2 drivers who decided not to come in. Seth Wansing, Donald Ray running 1st and 2nd. See if we can get some sort of word from Seth Wansing in the number 9. Seth Wanting, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Gotcha, buddy.
All right, so we know what's up. The racetrack sucks. Drivers are not a fan of what's going on right now. However, right now you're making the best of it. Why the decision to stay out?
We only ran probably, I'd say, 6 or 7 laps really hard on our tires. I think the first 6 or 7, everyone's settling in. And, you know, if I can save a set and try something different here, then why not? I think the car's driving good to at least I can hold top 10 track position. And I also think new tires here get progressively loose for some guys because they drive it off exit and spin the right rear. And I think that if that happens, me and Donald could catch a caution here in about 10 laps and be on a nice strategy here.
Gambling on another yellow. I hope it pays off for you, buddy. Hopefully we talk to you at the end of the show.
Thanks, buddy. Hope everybody enjoys the home.
I say this about a lot of drivers in TNT, but I genuinely mean this. If you get a chance to meet this guy, he's unbelievable. The pride of Kansas City, and a good friend to TNT, a good friend to a lot of us here. You know, we've all met up, gone to a race or 2 or 3 or I think 5 or 6 or 7 now for many years. We've been enjoying NASCAR both on and off the track. So good to see Seth up front. He gets to fight for this race lead. About to go green, 15 laps will be complete. Only 1 restart thus far. We are racing again in Loudon. And already, you heard it there. You heard a car just crunching against the wall. I think Tom Sears might have had something to do with that, and 2 cautions in quick succession. We'll see what happened here. Donald Ray, the pride of Rockwall, Texas. He was running in the 2nd position when the green flag came out. It looks like he spun the tires. And he gets lifted. A bunch by the 14 of Tom Sears. One more look. Damage on the 14 as well. Matter of fact, let's have a look. Let's see if we can go all the way to the green flag here. Tom Sears really getting held up by Jacket Ray. Watch this. Definitely a racing deal. I don't think Tom Sears expected that to happen. So Seth Watson retains his lead. Noah Belleville will run in the second position. Wonder what Grandma Jeannie's out. She's a big fan of Noah Belleville. Let's see if we can get a word from the Missouri pilot. Noah Belleville, Rig James up top. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Defending TNT champion and making, what is it, your second start in 10 races?
Sure.
It's not a lot.
Something like that.
It's not a lot. You're the only driver in practice that said you liked this place. Why?
I don't know. It's just unique. Something different.
Our first ever Thursday Night Thunder race in the iRacing era. You, the defending champion, have come here surely to show Jacob Bradley, who looks like he's going to be our next champion, just what this racing thing is all about. What's it going to take to beat the guy that's got an upsetting number of wins? What, 6 wins this season? How are you going to beat him?
I'm gonna need a long run. I think I can beat him on a long run, but he's a little quicker on the short run. We have 2 different lines, but I think that the line that I run is a little better on your right front. So I just need a long run to see if that's where the pace will come.
We're going to let you get to work. Hopefully we talk to you at the end of the show. Have fun.
Yep.
Noah Belleville will go to work on the outside of row number 1. Seth Wansing to his left-hand side, about to go green on lap 19. We're racing. Drag racing for the lead into turn number 3. There goes Belleville on the outside, and Wansing really be able to hold him off on the inside line, and the answer quickly is no. Noah Belleville running away with this one out front. Tristan Catania goes around at the back. We stay green. It looks like it's just one car. Donald Ray now trailing closely with Tom Sears in that 14. Noah Belleville starting to pull away. Half a second the difference between Belleville. Matt Seeger runs in the second position. He gets around Seth Wansing. Aaron Edwards in 4th. Ethan Winters losing 5th now to Jacob Bradley. Feemster in the 1-7, almost losing control out of that 4th corner. Richie Catania gets ahead of him. Colin McDonough in the 3-9. Trying to crack the top 10. Larry Eberhard trying to get away from the pack behind him. Donald Ray running in 13th. John Honeybrink to his outside. 2-time TNT champion Thomas Andrews just minding his own business and staying out of trouble in 17th. Belleville continues to lead, and the gap increases at the front. Seth Wansing in that number 9, the only car not to pit. He's running on tires that are 24 laps old, which normally isn't a problem, but in this case for Seth, if he doesn't get another caution soon, it could be a big problem. Drivers are expected to go between 40 and 50 laps on a green flag run. If a caution doesn't come out in the next 15 laps, Seth is going to have to think about pitting under green and losing 2 laps. He could have gambled and lost. At this point, you almost think that Donald Ray got lucky that he was involved in that crash because Ray was forced to pit. How about Kevin Feemster on the outside? He's also not having a good time in his 17. The Indiana driver regains control, and at the front, it's all Missouri. Noah Belleville sits at the front of this race, but only by 4/10. Matt Seeger always seeking his first TNT win and looking to make the most of it so far. 27 laps into this race. And shout out the folks that are in the chat. Shout out everybody in the chat because I've been neglecting chat since we started. Tanner Lockhart's in the house. We were talking about COD earlier today. And how is everything, Tanner, by the way? I hope everything's going fine. We'll talk later, by the way. Remind me. We'll talk after this race. Emily's in the house as well. I would say Matt Seeger's #1 fan by far, and Dustin Painter, my man from Winston-Salem, asks, does Rick send the winner a lobster? You know, that's actually... I think I remember for Season 1 of Winter Indy, I sent out tiny little plastic trophies that I got at a party store. Why not? Why couldn't I find just a small toy lobster? Just a package and send them with... that. This is the first ever Thursday Night Thunder race. Well, iRacing. Thursday Night Thunder iRacing event at New Hampshire. Might be something special. Who knows? Anyway, Noah Belleville leading. How about third place? Aaron Edwards trying to hold off Jake Bradley in the 5-0. Watch this. Bradley just can't get the grip to the inside of Aaron Edwards. 5-0 to the left-hand side of the one, Noah Belleville. Not rusty, but if you were watching Thursday Night Thunder in Season 9, it's no secret. Moldy, as we love to call him, dominated the season, broke records. I think it was 11 wins in a 15-race season. That's what he had to achieve. Well, it's what he did achieve, and that's what Jacob Bradley is after. Bradley finds himself well within contention. Make no mistake, we still have, if my math is right, 80-plus laps to go. Anything is absolutely possible, especially considering the fact we've had 2 cautions. The 5-0 to the left-hand side of that one car with rookie Ethan Winters watching. Let's go on board with the 10. The Smithfield 1-0 Impala now to the left-hand side of the Safe Light Camry with Toby Estes up 13 places from where he started. He pitted on the first caution on lap 13, did not pit on the second caution on lap 17. The Oreo machine, some distance off the top 5. While drivers start to get more comfortable, they start to spread out a bit more. And now it's going to be down to the skill, to the line, and how you drive the car, not necessarily who's battling in front of you. That's what's going to make up your time. The pride of Rockwall, Texas, Donald Ray. Behind the 1-7, DeWalt Ford, Kevin Feemster. This is the battle for 8th. races like a short track, doesn't it? If you're new to racing and you're not necessarily familiar with New Hampshire, when we say it races like a short track, it's the corners are, in this case, relatively flat, but just the line that you have to take, the outbraking that you almost have to do just to get the advantage into the corner. You hear the rhythm that Donald Ray has with the throttle, with the brake, and his rhythm right now sings a sweeter song than what Kevin Feemster can drum together for now. 2/10, the gap between them. Belleville in the 41, 7/10 of a second ahead of Matt Seeger, and the TNT points leader Jacob Bradley in the 5-0 now gives chase. Ethan Winters behind, Seeger out front. And if Bradley gets hooked up, look out. It's no secret. 6 wins to his name coming into this 10th round. Records or not, he is a rookie. This is his first season in Thursday Night Thunder. To illustrate the learning curve and how difficult this series can be, Aiden Norman has been out of practice in the Gen 4 car for, let's say, roughly about a year, almost a year. Aiden Norman has been out of practice. And most of this field has passed him by. Aiden Norman's TNT appearance this season was a mid-pack race. The learning curve is extremely steep. For Noah Belleville to be making his second or third start this season in TNT and be this successful this early in the race, impressive. For Jacob Bradley to win 6 races was unexpected, surprising, frustrating, but just so mind-blowing because of how competitive this series is. Cody Pinnell was in the chat talking about how close this finish is going to be and the quality of the stream. I see you, Cody. Thank you. Cody Pinnell can attest to that. He came in. Cody, I think in your rookie season, you won 4 Thursday Night Thunder races, and you've won a couple of more since then, but just Cody can attest to how very competitive this league can be. We can talk more about it in the remaining 70 laps if you want, but what Jacob Bradley has done is nothing short of impressive, to say the least, and now the reigning champion might have something to say about it. Anyway, I've been blathering on about crap that does not matter, especially if you don't care about TNT and you just want to talk about something else. Chat, throw something out there. Let's talk about whatever sports are on right now. I have no idea. 42 laps into this race. Belleville has a 1-second grip on first place. Thomas Andrews is trying to make some noise back in the 13th position. And Andrews is messed up. Take a look at the right side of the Miller Dodge. Well, if we can get a right side look at the Miller Dodge. Watch going into turn number 1. Well, you can see the dent right there on the right front corner. Front end of the car slams down onto the pavement. They're now chasing Richie Catania in that custom 2.4. Emily asking, how is Matt Seeger a lap down? Matt Seeger came into the pits on lap number 40. Now, taking a look at his stint length, that's rather interesting. Tom Sears looks like he came in after that second caution as well. He pitted on lap 17. Noah Belleville, Aaron Edwards, they're both in, so it makes sense. The pit stop cycles have now begun. The Season 9 champion pulls into the stall, and the target Dodge comes to a halt. Jacob Bradley in the 5-0 now leads this race. 6/10 is his gap over the Smithfield Chevrolet, and the DeWalt Taurus of Kevin Feemster sits ahead of that National Guard Monte Carlo. Tom Sears rounds out the top 5 on this green flag cycle. Bradley Wright in the 29 chasing down Colin McDonough, who's up 8 places from where he started. Toby Estes in the 8. He pitted on lap 41. Seth Wansing in the 9 also did the same. Both of them went green. They've put in personal bests. Painter wants to talk about Manchester United. Well, let's get this out of the way. I don't support Manchester United. I support Liverpool. I hate Manchester United. However, that game, if you watch the Europa League game between Manchester United and Lyon today, it was one of the best soccer games you'll ever see in your entire life. Kevin Feemster and Donald Ray, the 17 and the 5, fighting for third. I almost put, and Painter, you'll know about this because we enjoy a little bit of sports betting. I was going to put a couple of bucks down on Manchester United to win the game. To win the game. You had texted me saying that you were frustrated about how they were down, or how they were up 2, and I think it was 3-2 at the time. I was going to put a few dollars on United to win the game, so I texted you, plenty of time. They can do this. As I was going to place my bet, Lyon had been awarded a penalty. So then, of course, I couldn't place a bet. The pick had closed. I wasn't able to put that in. Ethan Winters, he's going to come down into the pits. This is going to be I think this is the first green flag cycle. Somebody confirm or deny that. I have no idea. I probably haven't been paying attention. Anyway, I continue to ramble. I couldn't place my pick because there was a change in the game. There was a change in the scoreline. So then I said, you know what? Forget it. I don't need to bet. To make a very long and what's probably a boring story short, Manchester United goes down 4-2. They come back to win 5-2 in one of the most exciting finishes you'll ever see. I'm sure you're going to see highlights somewhere. But that Manchester United-Lyon game was out of this world, something else. It's just the magic of sports. It really is. Kevin Feemster feeling a touch of the magic, or maybe a touch of the loosey-gooseys. He can't keep that car moving in a straight line. The 17 now trailing to Donald Ray. Of course, they have not yet pitted. Jacob Bradley in that 5-0. He hasn't pitted since lap 13. He's leading Donald Ray by 7.25 seconds. Let's ride on board with Jacob Bradley, see if he's using the clutch in the corners as we're used to seeing. No clutch for Jacob Bradley. And he's in 38 laps, well before the expected 40 to 50 lap window, and the race leader calls it quits. Donald Ray will stay out, and the pride of Rockwall, Texas. For the second time today. Briefly held the lead before being spun out by Tom Sears. There's Kevin Feemster right behind him. Now the top 5 also have not pitted. Richie Catania hasn't come in since lap 13. Take a look also at John Honeybrink. He hasn't pitted since lap 13. He sits in the 10th position, up 7 spots from where he started. Kevin Feemster doesn't give up the fight for the lead. Noah Belleville to the inside of Matt Seeger. Belleville in the 41 now gets ahead of the 16. That is the fight for the, what would you call it, tentative lead, the potential lead. Donald Ray still a third of a second ahead. Further on back, Tony the Tiger not feeling so great. Slow out of that second corner. He gives up the 10th spot to Toby Estes, and now John Honeybrink is in a position to pass. Well, not anymore because Ethan Winters passes him. Jacob Bradley's on a mission, by the way, if you hadn't guessed. The 5-0 Jimmy Johnson Foundation Chevrolet. Keeps the car nice and tidy, does not slide out of the corner. He sits half a second behind John Honeybrink, ready to charge into the 13th position. One of tonight's Bluegrass Bandits, Bradley Wright, goes green, 30.6 seconds in the Good Wrench Chevrolet. Bama Tram is also in the house tonight. Mama Vols, how you doing? And I miss Dylan Brewer as well. I'm going through the chat. I'm so sorry. I am not paying attention tonight. Being terrible out here. My apologies. Kevin Feemster comes into the pits. Dylan, I probably ignored you while I was rambling about whatever stupid story I was talking about. I can't even remember. Donald Ray has that 2-second grip over Tom Sears right now. Noah Belleville, 9 seconds behind the top two, but keep in mind, Donald Ray and Tom Sears have not pitted since lap 17. Ethan Winters, Seth Wansing, Toby Estes in a tight threesome coming out of that fourth corner, and they're going to drag race down that front straight and hopefully keep it in one piece. Winters is going to prevail out of turn number 2. He's going to sit in the 8th position. Toby Estes comfortably in 9th until Seth Wansing opens the door on the left-hand side, and then Jacob Bradley coming to ruin all of their hopes and dreams. That number 50 Lowe's machine is on the move. You better get out of his way. Toby Estes with a blink. He will move up the high side, and Jacob Bradley will easily make his way past. At the front, it's still Donald Ray in the number 5. There he is, leading this race. Tom Sears in the 2nd position. 2 seconds is the gap. Kevin Feemster not fighting for position. Where's Noah Belleville in the 3rd position? 6.5 seconds off of their mark. However, over the last 5 laps, Noah Belleville has been just chipping away 1 second at a time. Let's see what the clock says this time around. 59 laps complete, and Noah Belleville takes another 9/10 off of Tom Sears' time. So at this rate, he's going to be on Tom Sears' bumper within 5 laps. Further on back, Jacob Bradley, a man possessed, as expected. Jacob Bradley pitting on lap 51. Donald Ray, he's finally in on lap 61. So from 17 to 61, I have no idea how many laps that is. Someone in the chat do the math for me. But whatever 17, it's the difference between 17 and 61 laps. This is something that I've never said in Thursday Night Thunder before. At his home racetrack, Tom Sears is leading. Is this his home racetrack? Is it Dover? I don't know. Well, now it's his home racetrack. I've decided that. And Tom Sears, leading at his home racetrack, decides to come in. And the new leader is now Noah Belleville, the defending champion, on lap 62. Pulls ahead. Matt Seeger is in second by 2.5 seconds, a little bit more than that. Aaron Edwards in the Safelite Camry, running in 3rd. Ethan Winters losing the spot to Jacob Bradley. And Bradley looking to move into that bronze medal slot. Winters not just rolling over for Jacob Bradley, mind you. There goes the race leader, Noah Belleville. You're looking at 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Were they briefly 4 wide down the front straight there? Can we go back? Watch this. Was this... What caution is out here. What have I just missed? Yellow flag is out. I was trying to see if they went 3 wide down the front straight. Kevin Feemster's now had an incident in the 17. This will be the 3rd caution of the evening. Oh, Honeybrink and Feemster. Man, but that's actually a big hit. Honeybrink and Feemster crash out of turn number 2. Now, before this, it looked like there was 3, 4... Look at this. Almost 3 wide down the front straight. And then Kevin Feemster goes around. No, he's... Have another look. I genuinely have no idea what happened. Oh, Honeybrink lost a lot of control out of turn number 2, and there was nowhere for Kevin to go. 3rd caution is out. We've got 50 laps to go in this race. All of the top 9 are in. Briley Wright will stay out and assume the race lead in the 29 Good Wrench Chevrolet. Against my better judgment, let's talk to Briley Wright. Briley, it's Rick James up top. Can you hear me? Briley, Rick James in the house. You got me?
I got you, brother.
Hey, buddy. Good to hear from you. How's the family?
I'm doing good.
Good, man. Glad to hear it. Landon's not in the chat yet, but if he knew, you know he'd be pulling for you. So, briefly explain the decision not to pit yet.
I don't know what to play. The only thing I can think of is hopefully have some fresher tires at the end. I don't know. I'm running around here like a chicken with his head cut off. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm struggling really bad. So I'm just trying anything I can. So we'll see how it works out.
The last time a caution came out, there was one that immediately followed, so anything's actually possible here. We've got fewer than 50 laps to go, so we know it's one stop to the end. And you've got Donald Ray lining up on your outside, and a lot of guys are saying, you know, it's a hard track, I don't know what I'm doing. Is it really that difficult? What makes it so hard?
It's extremely difficult. It's so loose coming out on exit. If you don't get into the flat part of the track at the right time and get down on the gas, you're going to lose so much time on exit. And that's just where I am completely lost right now. I'm just not doing a good job at getting to the gas at the right time and keeping the car straight off the exit.
I got faith in you, pal. Focus, and hopefully we talk to you soon. Have fun.
Thank you, brother.
My man Briley Wright, he's been to a couple of our NASCAR trips as well. He's going to do his best at the front of this race for the great state of Kentucky. Briley Wright peels off with a great jump. Jacob Bradley right behind him. Bradley with an amazing run out of turn number 2. He's going to take the lead, but how about Noah Belleville? He's going to make it almost another 3-wide race. He sends it so deep into turn number 3. Bradley and Belleville now side by side down the front straight for the lead. Belleville sends it in deep once again, but I think this time he just couldn't get the grip. There goes Aaron Edwards. He's in the wall. Jacob Bradley now leading by his lonesome. Noah Belleville still in his shadow. Colin McDonough with a wide line in turn number 1. How about Chucky Sweeting, Larry Eberhard, and Thomas Andrews? Aaron Edwards has regained control of his race car. Jacob Bradley has regained control of this race. Noah Belleville says, not for long. Let's go on board with the Missouri pilot. 41 target machine. Half a second, 6/10 now behind the leader. How about third place up for grabs? Donald Ray slides up the racetrack, almost making contact, and there's huge contact there. Donald Ray flies out of the fourth corner, and he's in a huge heap. That 5 car might just be done for the day. Yellow flag is out. No, he's not done for the day. I don't know what I'm talking about. He's going to get that thing fixed, but he's heavily damaged. Caution's going to come out for the 4th time tonight. And Briley Wright got that yellow he was looking for. Let's have a look on lap 71. I think he just gets hooked by Ethan Winters. Briley Wright also gets a piece of that as well. Briley was waiting for that caution to come out, and he was the caution that came out. Let's take another look. And not to add insult to injury, but let's have one more look from the sky. I want to see just if we can see if it was net code, just how they got hooked. That tells me nothing. Maybe I'm just not being observant. Let's go on board with Ethan Winters and see how this came to be. Pretty weird caution, but we're going to keep it moving. Jacob Bradley leading this race with Noah Belleville behind him. I don't think we've spoken to the race leader yet today. Let's see if we can bother this man. JB, Rick James in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Loud and clear. No kidding. All right, you're leading this race here. You've got the 41 of Noah Belleville right behind you, and it seems like finally you have a playmate at the front.
Yeah, he's been able to keep up. I know in the middle of the race he took 2 and I took 4 and got almost collecting that giant wreck. Had to chase him back down from there. But yeah, we're having some fun right now.
And what's it going to take to beat him? I mean, it's no secret that Noah Belleville's extremely talented. Obviously, we all know how amazing he did last season, but do you see any weakness in the 41?
It's just gonna take some clean starts and just even throttle application. He's on a controller, so he can't be as smooth on the throttle as everybody else.
We'll see how the restarts go. We'll see who's smoother on the start, man. Have fun.
Thank you.
Jacob Bradley will have control of the field when we go green in the Jimmy Johnson Foundation Chevrolet. Noah Belleville will be on his outside. 40 laps to go and we're racing again. Matt Seeger sits in that 3rd position. We're into the final 40 laps of competition. The 1-6 has Briley Wright behind him. And the 1 of Aaron Edwards. Turn 2 has been Aaron's enemy tonight. Normally he is up there fighting for the lead every single week, but turn 2 has been his Achilles. He's still managing. Briley Wright just behind him. Briley gets a little bit loose out of turn number 4. And the Tommies now nose to tail. Withers gets in the wall. Sears will avoid. Chuck Sweeting to the inside of the Goodwrench Chevrolet and the DuPont Impala. Was that a Monte Carlo? Who can tell? The 24 of Richie Catania sits in 11th. Up towards the front. Let's go on board with Toby Estes. Estes just trying to hold on. Seth Wansing ahead in that 9. Wansing trying to get third while first is hotly contested. Let's ride with the 41. Noah Belleville chasing down the points leader, Jacob Bradley. Yellow flag is out for the 5th time tonight. It's Withers again. And Richie Catania also involved in that fantasy DuPont Chevrolet. Caution number 5. Let's see what happened. Oh! Well, that seemed different. Let's have a look from the blimp and check this out. I'm not sure if Richie got loose out of the corner or if the 6 just didn't know how slow Richie was going. Watch this. Have a listen with Richie. You can tell that Richie's struggling to accelerate. Listen with Tommy Withers. You can hear Tommy Withers has a more steady acceleration out of turn number 4 than Richie, and that could be what caused it. It's an extremely tight racetrack, and when these drivers said that it's difficult, they weren't kidding around. It's very, very difficult. The news is this. Everybody can now make it on fuel to the end of this. Well, I say everybody, I'm lying. Jacob Bradley and Noah Belleville cannot. They have not yet pitted. Everybody else, except for Tristan Catania, can make it to the end here on fuel. We'll see if Bradley decides to come in. And they do not. So they last pitted on lap 65. They're going to be sitting on tires that are more than 20 laps old when we come to the green. They're going to be on the back foot. So now's a test of just how fast can they be. And do not spin the tires. The reigning champion on the outside, the projected champion on the inside in the 10th round of the 10th season of Thursday Night Thunder. We're going to have just over 30 laps to go when we get the green. And the excitement never ends. Quick shout out to Drip Diecast and Collectibles on eBay. They keep us moving. Check them out on eBay, Drip Diecast and Collectibles. Get a lot of these paint schemes you see here and more. Green flag is out. Belleville spun the tires. Or was he looking for the inside line? Either way, Jacob Bradley got out to an unexpected gap when the green flag flew. Chuck Sweeting sitting in 8th. He started as close to last as you can get. Up 10 places from where he started. Bradley not pulling away from Noah Belleville as he would like. Let's go on board with the 41. We'll go on board with the 41 later. Let's watch the battle for the second position. Chuck Sweeting also getting into the mix. He's to the inside of Briley Wright. 30 laps to go this time by. Tristan Catania politely removing himself from the mix. Seth Wansing now all over the back end of Jacob Bradley. Just looking to get under the shadow of his rear spoiler. Seth Wansing pitting on lap 73. Jacob Bradley on lap 65. Their tires are only 8 laps apart, but you can see the difference that it makes. Belleville struggling. Wansing thriving. Matt Seeger, he pitted on lap 73. He's all over the back end of the 41. 26 to go this time by. I don't think Seth Wansing has won in Thursday Night Thunder since season 8 at North Wilkesboro. Thomas Andrews trying to get around Tommy Withers. That's for the 14th position. The Pittsburgh Penguins Ford Taurus sliding through the racetrack. Toby Estes into the 8. Oreo Chevrolet not fighting Tristan Catania for position in the NRA machine. And a quarter piece remains. Seth Wansing doing everything he can to get to the back end of Jake Bradley. Including hit the wall. Did you hear that? Wansing moves to the inside. Will he finally get a piece of the 50? He just can't make it stick. Wansing finally gets to the inside, but he's really sliding the race car around. He gets the line, but he doesn't have the speed. They briefly make contact. Jacob Bradley just loses the advantage. Wansing has the inside line out of turn number 2. Bradley now switches back to the inside line, tries to get the grip off the Missouri pilot. Wansing, new leader. 21 to go next time around. A brief look at the pass between them. I don't think there was any contact made at all. They kept it clean and green all the way through. 21 to go this time by. It goes 9 up front in the Kellogg's machine. 5-0 in second in the Jimmy Johnson's Chevrolet. And the 41 Target Dodge. Noah Belleville running in third. 2-0 to go next time by. Then 1-9 at the line. There's going to be fireworks at the end of round 10. Shout out Chuck Sweeting, by the way. Started this race in the 18th position. He's up to 4th right now, and he's a third of a second off of the podium. Seth Wansing pulling away, pitting on lap 73, which puts him 42 laps away from the finish. I don't know that Seth can make it that far. Jacob Bradley, who's proven to be the king of saving fuel, was able to go 38 laps on one stint. Both he and Noah Belleville pitted on lap 65. If Seth can't make it 42 laps to the end of this race, it's still a one-stop race to the end. Toby Estes pitted on lap 81. Larry Eberhard and Thomas Andrews also pitted on lap 81. Same for Richie Catania. If it goes green to the end, which the first 100 or the first 60 some laps tells us it's not going to go green to the end, but if it goes green to the end, who knows? The guys that pitted on lap 81 might just make the difference. Right now, Seth Wansing trying to open as much of a gap as possible to the points leader, Jake Bradley, in second. Noah Belleville has a bumper full of Chuck Sweeting. Check this out. Noah Belleville saving with the clutch. Is Jacob Bradley doing the same? Listen. Jacob Bradley is not saving with the clutch. And you hear just no noise until Belleville cuts the throttle in. Belleville is saving with the clutch. 16 to go this time by. Noah Belleville would need to stretch this 50 laps. Is that right? I do not believe Noah Belleville can go 50 laps. That's the Drip Diecast's estimated pit window. However, that's going to be a huge stretch for him to go 50 laps. Who knows? Maybe he's saving and he's hoping for a caution. Anything's possible. 15 laps remain. Seth Wansing still ahead of Jacob Bradley by 0.4 of a second, but by now the magic has worn from Wansing's tires. Seth again has to go 42 laps to make it on fuel. Doesn't sound like Seth is saving with the clutch. He's just trying to go as far as possible. Six tenths now the gap. 14 to go this time by. Wansing expanding the gap over Jacob Bradley. This is for the 12th position. The 2-4 DuPont Chevrolet of Richie Catania holds the spot. Colin McDonough wants it. Larry Eberhard also discussing ownership of the 10th spot with Thomas Andrews. The New Jersey pilot will slot into 10th and now lose it again, it looks like. Larry wants a piece of the inside. Andrews remains in 10th. Noah Belleville and Tom Sears will now have a discussion over who wants to be in 4th, and I think Noah Belleville says, Tom, you take it. Belleville slaps the wall out of the 4th corner. I think he's just struggling on old tires. He has not pitted since lap 65. The car's not as fast as it could be, and the struggle shows. The two-time TNT champion wants to show the reigning champion a thing or two Seth Wansing will cross the line, and it's going to be 12 laps to go at New Hampshire. He sits 0.6 and then some ahead of Jacob Bradley, with no guarantee he can make it to the end. Tom Sears still trying to get active with Noah Belleville, trying to find some way around that 41. Let's go on board with the Tropicana machine. And Belleville says, you know what? Just take it. Just take it. Tom Sears will. Aaron Edwards will also take the 5th position on the outside. Ethan Winters in the 10 machine. He might want to take 6th away from Noah Belleville. That target car very fast on the restart, but I think the tires have just given up. Jacob Bradley, on the other hand, 3/4 of a second behind Seth Wansing with 1:0 to go on the board. 9 at the line next time by for the number 9 Kellogg's Chevrolet from Kansas City, Missouri. And if he can hold on for 9.5 more laps, we might have a big upset. Plenty of racing to go. 9 more miles at the Magic Mile. It is the first ever Thursday Night Thunder race in the iRacing era at New Hampshire, nestled among the forests of iRacing's Loudon. And how about Chuck Sweeting? I cannot stress this enough, just how wild this is. He started 18th out of 19 participants. And he's about to take over the 6-time winner and current points leader, Jacob Bradley, for the 2nd position. Sweeting can take his time, and it's a sweet 16 places from where he started. Chuck Sweeting now moves into the 2nd spot with 7 laps to go next time by. Well, he hasn't sealed 2nd. How about that? Jacob Bradley still has some fight in those tires, but he won't have the fuel. Or will he? I honestly, well, let's see if he can make it to the end of this race. That will be 50 laps on gas if they do indeed make it to the end. Matt Seeger trapped as the only car 1 lap down. He needed 1 more caution to be part of this fight. He might just get 1 more caution to be part of this fight. He's quicker than the 5-0. Ethan Winters looking to get around Noah Belleville. And Seth Wansing hoping that everybody just plays nice, makes no contact, and the next 5.5 miles of this race are caution-free. Doesn't even need to be 5.5. It could just be the next 5. Once the white flag comes out, that is it. And Seth is praying to the racing powers that be that the 4-1 and the 1-0 make no contact. The target Dodge ahead of the Smithfield Chevrolet. They will argue, and they will vacillate back and forth over the 6th position. If you just tuned in, it's been a fun night. It's been a really, really fun night. For what was an unexpected race. In our 10th season, we have been to just about every track you can imagine, even non-NASCAR tracks. Last year, we raced at Laguna Seca and Barber in these cars. We've done a lot in Thursday Night Thunder. You know what we haven't done? Raced at New Hampshire. And this first race at New Hampshire has proven to be explosive. 5 cautions in what we thought could be a caution-free race, as is per usual in Thursday Night Thunder. Not to be the case. A lot of drivers upset with how the car is running, a lot of drivers unhappy with how it handles, and they just can't get a grip on this racetrack. It was never poised to be a fuel race, and cautions saw to it. However, one thing that nobody expected from the distant shores of southern Kansas City, Seth Wansing, leading this race with 2.5 miles to go. If he can hang on, it will be a rare and very celebrated Seth Wansing win. However, it is his race to lose, as the rookie, Chuck Sweeting, is 2.4 seconds behind with fewer than 2 laps remaining. Chuck's not moving fast enough to take the lead away from Seth. However, if Seth makes a mistake, Chuck will be there to get that win. Jacob Bradley just trying to hold on to third, while the two-time champion Tom Sears encroaches on the podium positions. Richie Catania and Larry Eberhard fighting hard for the 11th position, almost racing like a dirt track out here. Richie struggles to hold on to that race car, and if Larry can keep it together, 11th will be his. 2 times a champion in the sister series to TNT A Squared, several times a winner in Thursday Night Thunder, and always a welcome to see in Victory Lane. Seth Wansing from Kansas City, Missouri will appear out of turn number 4 with a checkered flag in the air. He will win round 10 at New Hampshire. Tom Sears gives it all he's got, and he comes home 4th. Noah Belleville in 6th, Toby Estes in 8th. And this is a popular TNT win. Seth Wansing once again on top. Fans, don't go anywhere. I think Seth is going to be doing donuts until midnight. We're going to collect our podium. We're going to talk to a very excited Seth Wansing. We'll see you in a bit. On the podium with our top 3, starting with tonight's bronze medalist, the points leader, and I dare to say, Jake, the upsettee, the person who's been upset. We all expected a win. Now, it's weird to say third place is almost a disappointment when you've won so much. But man, you had a genuine chance. Did the tires make the difference?
I mean, I think he had 8-lap fresher 4 tires, and I was on 8-lap older only on 2 tires. So there was definitely some difference there in the beginning, and I felt like I could match him there after another like 10 laps riding behind him. But at the end there, while I really fell off, I thought I was on the number for fuel, but it turns out I was about 1 lap off. So I had to figure out how to fuel save really quick, because I hadn't practiced that. I didn't anticipate having to do it. But yeah, tires are definitely a big factor there, and congrats to Seth on the win.
Next week, we end up at Watkins Glen. What can we expect from you there?
My worst road course, but I'm still going to try and win. We'll see how it plays out.
We'll see exactly how it plays out. We'll refresh the points and get you an update here in just a moment. Let's have a word with our second place finisher, the man, the myth, the Chuck. Chucky Sweeting, you started in 18th. You ended up finishing with a silver medal. Did you expect that to be a possibility?
Well, I didn't really know. I didn't know how the competition was going to be on this particular track, because this is different from what we have run on all season. So I really wasn't sure, but it didn't start out very good, the race. But it finished pretty good, so I'll take it. I'm not real good here, but I'm not real bad, so I was just able to keep it straight and work my way up to second.
How are you fixed for Watkins Glen? Are we expecting another podium?
It's the only road course that I can get around usually without running off the course, so I don't think there's going to be a podium. Hopefully it'll be close to a top 5, but we'll see. It's a fun track to drive, but I'm not a good road driver.
Congratulations on that silver medal, Chucky. Unofficially, you are 5th in the standings, 2 behind Seth Wansing.
Yeah, appreciate it. Congrats to Seth, and great job tonight. I think Brad had to save, or Jacob had to save there, and that got me to second. But yeah, it's been a fun season, and looking forward to finishing it out strong.
Looking forward to seeing you next week, Chuck. Congrats again. Let's go to our race winner. The man on top tonight, Seth Wansing. Your first win this season. You're 4th in the point standings now with that win. You're only 15 points out of the money in TNT. What a night for you.
Yeah, man, it's been a while. I think it was like 3 seasons ago, or Iowa, but happy to be back in victory lane. Yeah, try to go get some money here in the next couple weeks. That was a big boost for me. I think I was like 6 coming into the night, so fun night.
For you, what made that difference, though? Because it's not like, this wasn't deserved, but certainly your car had something that the competitions didn't.